Hi everyone, I'm Dave Ritter from the Penta Global Blockchain Foundation, and today I'm going to bring you the latest progress report from the Penta Network, which goes from the 16th of June to the end of the month. This is a day or two later than I had wanted to get this video out, so I apologize. Yesterday we had a power outage here in Colorado where I've been the last few days, and so that'll be a great opportunity to talk with you a little bit about Penta's approach to decentralized energy systems. We can talk about that later in the program. Let's start with the progress report. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to pull this up on here. If you haven't seen it, we've sent this out on our Medium channel, LinkedIn, through WeChat to our various communities. So please feel free to access also on our www.penta.global, which is our official website. Okay, so here we are, June 16th to the 30th. As you know, we are in the process of rolling out Penta Testnet version 0.2. In fact, basically we are putting kind of finishing touches on the DApp platform and optimizing some of the functions of the Penta chain. Most importantly, we're working on the reset algorithm. So this is the reset for this is the DSC consensus algorithm for Penta. In the event that there's a problem with one of the blocks, then we have a reset function. So this is a really important part of DSC consensus, and one of the ways that we can move towards full integrity in the system. If there's a node that participates in DSC which is flagged for dishonest behavior, or there's a problem with the block issuance or whatever, any kind of problem that occurs in the final consensus of DSC will then trigger the reset function, which sends it back to the RSA, which is the random sorting algorithm. So what happens in DSC, as you will recall, is the two kinds of nodes that participate in consensus: delegate nodes, which are the block producers and like the senators and the kind of similar to the U.S. government. And then we have the witnesses, rather, which are the validators, and that could be anybody with very, very low barrier to entry, who are kind of like the House of Representatives or a parliament in a parliamentary system. So these two kinds of nodes participate in DSC consensus. We use a randomization algorithm to randomly place them into consensus groups which participate in final consensus. And as I was just saying, if there's a problem in that final consensus group, then the block is sent back down to the lower level and the randomization starts again. So random nodes will once again be randomly placed into consensus groups, and then another block will be put forth for consensus. And this is a way to increase the continuity and the integrity of the system. So we make sure that everybody's incentivized to be an honest actor in the system, and that it makes it much more expensive to game the system, which makes DSC a much more attractive kind of consensus than some of the other consensus mechanisms which are out there. And if we're thinking about POW consensus, we've seen several successful 51% attacks. So even if that hasn't happened to Bitcoin, we've seen it recently in Bitcoin Cash. We've seen it in a bunch of other POW systems. So the kind of integrity that comes from a proof-of-stake voting system like DSC, and in particular the way that we have structured randomization and the reset function, so that if a block is flagged for dishonest behavior, it goes through the randomization process again. This level of randomization in the consensus algorithm will greatly increase the integrity of the system and also the efficiency, because it will be so expensive and difficult to game the system because you won't know which nodes are participating. You won't know which witness nodes or which block producing nodes, delegate nodes, are participating in final consensus. And so that reset algorithm is really important. If I took a moment to explain it, it's just because I want people to realize that we take this very seriously. Our team is spending a lot of time on the optimization of the specific functions that make DSC run correctly. So that's where we are in terms of our tech right now. PC Wallet, a lot of people have been asking us about the Penta Wallet. The beta version of the wallet is complete. We've been testing it. We're waiting for the mainnet to come out. So this will be a PNT wallet that functions with the mainnet. We are toying with an intermediate step where we'll come out with a Penta wallet that will run currently with the ERC20 version of the token. So that's a possibility. Stay tuned for more details on that. But basically, once we launch version 0.2, it will be essentially the mainnet, and we'll have the fully functioning wallet that goes along with that. The other question that I'd like to answer for everybody is about open source of our code. We will be fully open sourced, and we will publish our code on GitHub. We are strategizing when is the best time to do that. At the very least, we'll do it before we launch the mainnet. And that's coming out later this year. So at some point in the next couple of months, we will start to publish the code. We've just been waiting for the right moment to do so. And so let me just answer the question. Yes, we will be fully open source code, and Penta Testnet will be coming out it'll be coming out later this year. We haven't determined an actual date. You can see I've just received an email. Okay, so that kind of addresses some of the technical questions. Let me go through recent activities in terms of our project pipeline and our marketing activities. So the director of our Penta Impact ecosystem, our partner Lucia Gallardo, was very, very busy in June, presenting in New York, in Canada, in Amsterdam at the Money 2020 conference there. And on June 14th, she was in Toronto, Canada, presenting at the Upside Foundation, talking about how emerging technologies can be used to solve the world's biggest problems. Of course, she talked about her work as director of the Penta Impact ecosystem, and talked with lots of companies about our approach to solving social impact problems. Then again in Toronto on June 19th, Lucia presented at the Bermuda Business Development Agency, or a forum rather, the Bermuda Executive Forum, which includes the BDA. You can see a picture of her there, and the Penta logo, a little bit of a small picture, but is behind her. So actually we're talking with the BDA. They're setting up an international kind of accelerator program, and they're talking to Penta to be one of their chief tech partners in that. So we're very excited about the possibility of doing work. The Caribbean has turned out to be a really embracing region for blockchain technology, also innovative finance. So we'll be looking to work with the BDA on both blockchain and decentralized finance types of applications that can run on the Penta network. So that's what we're talking about there. Lucia currently is in Honduras, where we're talking with some of the banks in Central America about also some of our decentralized finance applications on the Penta network. So that's some of the exciting news that we are seeing in our work with the Penta Impact ecosystem. Now, one of the projects that we've been gaining a lot of traction in and have been talking about recently is Penta's supply chain management system. And we're really making leaps and bounds in terms of innovation in this space. And what you can see here is one of our recent projects. We worked with a company called La Meseta in Colombia, one of the largest exporters of coffee out of Colombia. You can see here the logo for La Meseta's coffee. They export to the United States, to the European Union, and to Canada. So we tracked, this is a traceability project, we tracked their green coffee beans from Chinchina, Colombia, to port in Buenaventura, and then up to the United States. It's supposed to arrive at the port of Jacksonville, and we're waiting for the arrival of the coffee. So we're tracking the entire supply chain there. Really exciting project, and we're looking forward to expanding our relationship with La Meseta to be managing more of their traceability in the future. We're also doing a project with them around electronic bill of lading. Tremendous value potential for that. And in terms of how this relates to the Penta network, so data that comes out of the supply chain traceability projects can run on the Penta network and be validated through the DSC validation process. And that brings real visibility and accountability into supply chain, something that we haven't seen before. So that's a tremendous value potential. And we are talking with insurance companies now about how to structure financial products and insurance products in particular in the supply chain finance realm based on full visibility into a supply chain, which is something that insurance companies have never had before in terms of underwriting their products. So we're very excited about the applications of this and continuing to grow. So, in addition to coffee, we've started doing projects for bananas also out of Colombia, limes, avocados. We have a bunch of coffee projects. Apples we did in Michigan. We're expanding our work in the produce environment here in the United States. And we're talking with projects out of the Caribbean, Central America. So the supply chain stuff is really growing for us. We're so excited about that. And it will really bring a lot of real-world application of Penta's technology to this space. So we're very excited about that. And what the news in our progress report is talking about is our relationship with Human Leap. So Human Leap is our partner in Colombia, and we finalized our agreement with them. So our relationship with La Meseta is through our partnership with Human Leap, and I had the pleasure of being in Colombia last month, the end of May, to meet with our Human Leap team. Here is Juan David, one of the co-founders and leaders of the Human Leap team. We're so excited to be working with them. Their focus is on what they call, the fourth industrial revolution, which is really about these emerging technologies like blockchain and IoT, both of which are important for our supply chain projects, and how they can be used to transform existing business models. So we are working with Human Leap on real transformation and disruption into supply chain and decentralized financial tech in the Latin American market. So we love you guys from Human Leap. We're really excited to continue this partnership with you. Last but not least, out of the progress report, I want to just tell everybody, give you an announcement that we are going to be updating our website. This is long overdue. We've received a lot of feedback from our community about updating our website, and I want you to know that we have heard you. We've received your comments and we've heard you, and we are going to be updating our website. So in the next couple weeks, we will launch the new website. Don't freak out when you see that Penta's website has changed, and please do come back and check out the new website, which will be at www.penta.global. We would love your feedback on the new site. We're going to be putting more information out there about our project pipeline, the dApps that are going to go onto the Penta public chain, also our full suite of supply chain services, of blockchain services, which includes supply chain, and some of our decentralized finance applications. And we welcome everybody to take a look at that and share your feedback with us. So Penta is going to get a little bit of a makeover. Now, I started by telling you that I was hoping to get this video out yesterday, but then we struggled with a power outage here in Colorado. So let me talk a little bit. I'm not sure why the power outage happened. There was no weather event that would have caused it. So probably it's just the local energy system here in Boulder, Colorado got overloaded, and in the particular block, the particular energy subsection where we were located, we lost power for several hours. And actually, I want to just draw attention to the fact that we've been really looking at the energy sector from the beginning. If you look at the Penta white paper, we have a whole section where we talk about decentralized energy. And we've done some innovation in terms of creating secondary markets that can be, where underlying assets like energy assets can be tracked using the Penta network, and creating marketplaces where additional or excess energy can be sold to third parties. So imagine if you are in a sunny state in the United States, you come from a sunny place, and you have access to solar energy, and you have so much access to solar that you can actually take your excess energy and send it to somebody in a not so sunny place where they don't have such great access to alternative energy sources like solar. And then if it turns out that they need to find additional energy sources when you have a power outage like we were dealing with in Colorado, then you can purchase that energy through a secondary marketplace. So in the future, I believe we're all going to be energy consumers, but also producers. So we're going to be prosumers, as some people say, prosumers of energy. And you need technology like blockchain, as we propose in our white paper, to undergird that system and make sure that we can track the underlying asset, which is the energy, as it travels across the system. So this will enable microgrids that are community facing to come up, and then to take some communities which will have excess energy can take their energy resources and transfer them to other communities which are net energy importers. And so this is a way to really create a value transfer system for energy. And it would have been perfect yesterday had we had that option to access additional energy sources from energy prosumers through the Penta network, and then bring it and utilize it for the few hours. I think it was about 5 hours that we were without energy. Would have solved that problem. So we're actually talking with some companies in the United States and in Canada about piloting some of our energy, distributed energy systems technologies. We're very excited about that. So I thought this is a cool opportunity to talk about these kinds of problems that we encounter in our everyday lives, and how blockchain technology can really make a difference, not just in terms of having access to energy, but also to our pockets. Because as an energy prosumer, you can not only have better access to cheaper sources of energy, but you also become a producer where you can take advantage of secondary markets and sell your excess energy output to other parties, and put that money right back in your pocket. So this is really where blockchain becomes empowering, because now we're all paying for energy, and the energy markets in the U.S. are controlled by these energy behemoths. In Colorado, we have a company called Xcel, which basically is the gatekeeper of energy, at least here in Boulder, Colorado. So what we should be doing is empowering communities to establish microgrids, and then to create secondary markets where we can move around energy more efficiently to the places where it's most needed. So let me make that point out there. If you have any ideas about decentralized energy, distributed energy systems, would like to talk with us about our distributed energy technology, please leave a comment in the feedback section. Or if you have any comments about our supply chain projects or the Penta Network technology that we talked about in this video, please feel free to send us a message on YouTube underneath this video. We'd be more than happy to respond and love your feedback. So I want to say thank you to everybody for watching this video. We will be back in 2 weeks with another progress report. We come out every 2 weeks with a progress report, part of our commitment to engaging in a transparent process with our community. If you have any questions you'd like us to talk about in the next video, let us know, and we look forward to speaking with you then. So thank you again for your time. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.